This is how a software package looks like. This is software I'm personally involved with other people. We choose libraries, and we choose libraries depending from their version and from their compatibility with other libraries that we actually link together into a program. So applications are basically gathering different typologies, and within these typologies we choose the implementation that actually is most compatible with the other typologies we need. So we end up having a constellation of libraries in which those that are most to the outside are actually the more specialized in single tasks, and those that are that you find in the center, they gather functionalities from other libraries. So this is how a software looks like after it has been developed. And thank you. And I applied this principle to families of plants. So this is the first outcome of this research, actually. I used a software built by AT&T Labs to actually draw telephone lines systems and applied it to the relationship between plant families. These are the Latin names for plants. And you see that the red lines mean that they are incompatible, or they actually use the same resource, and the green lines means they help each other. This graph actually gathers the knowledge that permaculture activists learn through years of practicing, because to actually remember that special plants of certain families go together and they can be put with each other and they will help grow, it's quite of a complicated knowledge and experience. This can be actually resumed by this graph. So you can use it to plan your garden by building your own angiography through the nodes and see what works with what. So back to permaculture, there are very interesting formulations, and here we go more on the language, actually hoping that it inspires developers from different fields. The permaculture activists use this acronym, OBREDIM. They just use it to remember these fundamental steps in their view that one must go through in order to interact with the system. So you observe, you understand where are the boundaries of the system and your neighbors, the resources that are available, then you evaluate solutions, you design, implement them, and then plan to maintain. These are the principles taken from Holmgren's book, which is one of the main references for permaculture. What I find interesting is, again, that you can apply these terms to other design fields. These are agile software principles, just resumed in brief. So you see that simplicity is a very important concept in software development and scalability in Unix philosophy. Small and slow reminds us of slow food or slow think, as your recent manifesto, Francesco and Amos. The transition handbook lists these principles, or these more than principles, these are actually inspirational topics. Inspired by this kind of interdisciplinary inquiry, quite of a dreamy one, I would say, I hazard some leaps. I just like make a long jump, and I take the OSI layers, which are the engineering layers to actually plan a software, and the layers of components on the software, and I put them beside the 7 layers, which in permaculture mean the typologies of plants you have to put together in order to plan a garden that fills up all those layers.